Hello and welcome. We are ready to get into things, and hopefully we should have ourselves an enjoyable match. It is, as they call it, Beardy and Baldy on the mics today for you. And yeah, if you didn't guess, I'm Baldy. He's Beardy. How are you doing, George? You ready? You ready for a good game?
I'm ready for some Counter Strike, Dan. I'm
Hmm.
always ready for some Counter Strike. It's what makes my heart beat. It's what makes the world go around. As much as Queen might have told you otherwise, it is not Fat Bottom Girls. It is Counter Strike that makes the world go around for me. So yeah, I'm really excited to be back on and doing some good old commentary for some good old bangers.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm hoping it is going to be a banger because we are going to be stepping up to the plate for AGO versus the double pony side. That's gonna be, I think, a pretty interesting affair between these two teams. Obviously, the double pony side, French. We've actually covered a little bit of them recently in other escapades, George, just of
Hmm.
our own doing, but they're doing pretty um decently in general in sort of other areas. So far, you can see they've played one match, they've lost it. It's not gone too
Unfortunate.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not always the
Mm,
desired outcome. Definitely.
no.
But you can't win every single match you play. If you could,
No.
then you'd be winning everything, and that's just not really that fair, is it? But it's the
No.
nature of Counter Strike, especially when it's online, is that you can't win all the time. You can't always do very well. And I'm glad that they don't always do very well because it gives them something to work on. It gives them something to do, and it gives us great games all the way around. So it's going to be hopefully a really good game. Like we just saw, both
Mm.
these two teams have been having a lot going on. And here we can get a look at the double pony roster on their side of things. It is going to be made up of some names comprising of varying degrees of pretty good talent. I mean, you've seen Body, you've seen Lucky before. They've been on G2. They've been about the block, and then we got some new blood in Afro, Exercise, and Jocko. And they, I've got to say, are performing. For me, the man to look out for is Afro with that AWP.
Mm. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. He's been tearing it up with the AWP. I think for AGO coming into this one, you've got to be looking at Afro and sort of figuring out how to shut him down because he can like single handedly take over these games right now with the AWP, especially if it's a map where you can get sort of like maybe like overpass where the AWP is such a big factor and it can sort of dictate the pace of a game. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in action. I think that'll be interesting. But you've also got to look at the AGO side and what they're going to be bringing to the table because, as I said, Snatchy, he's going to be wielding that up for the AGO side. You've got plenty of sort of players who've been with this org for quite a long time now. And from my point of view, I think, yes, Snatchy is going to be a big one.
Yeah, you
May,
think?
may, yeah, maybe look at Rallen as well, who's been stepping up recently for this AGO side, and I think he could do some good work on the rifles there. But I think again, Snatchy, it always feels weird to highlight just the AWPers for both teams, but they have both been very influential. And now heading into the maps, George.
Yeah, maybe it is a good time to see if these AWPers can get some maps that will
Mm.
really play into their strengths, like an Overpass or something like that. Immediately, Double Pony getting rid of Mirage and then following suit with Overpass being removed from the equation. We get Vertigo picked by Double Pony for map one, and we're going to have a bit of Ancient for map number two. I've casted so much of this map lately. Teams are really finally starting to integrate it into their map pool.
Yeah, and it was one of those things I was looking at before we got going here. I was like, AGO have been one of these teams where they've actually sort of adopted Ancient pretty quickly
Hmm.
into their map pool. That they were one of the sort of one of the first sort of teams to really get behind Ancient as a map and get it sort of into their pool, and they've done great stuff with it. I think they've got like an 80% win rate or something on it. So yeah, they've been playing it a lot. They've got a good system on it. Let's see if Double Pony are going to be able to take any fight to them because Double Pony haven't really played Ancient all that much, and I think it's probably a map that AJ will be feeling confident heading into. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Double Pony's Vertigo.
It is, and well, I mean, we've seen recently in other competitions that Double Pony
Mm.
have been a little bit vulnerable on some of these maps.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at this with the objective of trying to establish which one of these two teams is going to come out on top. I personally am slightly, with the way the vetoes transpired, leaning towards AGO. I don't know about yourself. If I had to throw a prediction in the ring, if I had to place a bet with Pinnacle, then maybe I'd be looking to swing towards the AGO side. That's probably where I'm leaning to it, just with the way that the veto has panned out.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think AGO probably going to be the slight favourites. I think, especially with Ancient locks in there, it's yeah. I think there's not going to be much chance for the double pony side there, and I think just AGO being a sort of generally better side in some regards. I think they have more sort of depth in the talent there. I think AGO will be able to take this one, but I'm looking forward to an exciting 3 maps, George. That's what we want, really.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, an exciting 3 maps is definitely what we want. We love a banger, and I hope these two teams do too. I mean, on paper, I do think these two teams can be relatively easily matched. No, just relatively matched. I think they're a pretty good match for one another, and as a result, I think this match is going to be great. To be fair, a lot of the teams in this second Pinnacle Cup are also quite well kind of versed with one another. They play a lot in other competitions. So by this time, I think they might start to work each other out a little bit. But I think for me, in this series, in isolation, the curveball pick is Ancient. We still don't see a lot of this map, and we're still not sure where the meta is going to fall on it, whether Valve are going to make any more changes to this particular arena. We still don't know what is coming up for Ancient. And I hope to see a bit of a revolutionary playstyle out of these kind of second tier teams that are starting to adopt it more, especially as well with other competitions at tier 1 like Cologne around the corner. We might see more Ancient. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how this map develops, but maybe this could be an opportunity for one of these teams to become, well, AGO have picked it, so clearly they think that they're some sort of Ancient specialists, pioneer in the meta.
Savants.
They're the ones who've got the strategy nailed. They're going to be the ones to carry themselves through. Maybe. I'm just spitballing. I really hope so, though. I'd love to see more out of these two teams or any team, in fact, on this map. Use it as a pocket pick. Use it as a way to get your way into the big leagues, as they say.
Into the big leagues. That's what both these teams are hoping for. But I mean, it's not going to work out for everyone, is it? And for now, I think they'll both be pretty happy with where they are, just as teams right now. It was sort of where they sort of have their footing in the door, so to speak. I think they've both got really promising sort of looks about them. AGO, as I said, have been around for ages. They've been around the block plenty of times, but we'll see if they can do it here. Because I mean, both of these teams, as we sort of mentioned, are both 0-1 right now in the Swiss system right now. This is a 0-1 match for them. So you do not want to be dropping to that 0-2 bracket. But we are ready to get into the game, George. And can you believe it? Here we are. Vertigo, the first battleground between these two teams.
Well, I don't know about you, Dan. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to this one greatly. And hopefully it's going to be a good start. I think we're not actually live just yet, though. Maybe there's some kind of error because people are just jumping about and team killing and whatever. Here we go. Yeah. Technical pause then. Well, that was short-lived, lovely. I suppose. At least we get a good look at these AGO players. And to be honest, I don't really... Now I'm thinking about my prediction that I made a little bit more, right? I'm thinking about it. And I'm increasingly less confident about it the more I dissect and pick through. That could just be me being a bit of a weirdo. As it is, though, we get the AGO side, we got the double pony side, we got Vertigo for map number 1. I'm just excited. I don't know what the nature of this tech timeout is. Hopefully we can get an update as to that shortly. But as soon as we do, and as soon as we know, we'll be right onto it. Pistol round has been restarted is all the information that I was able to get. So I think we're actually going to be right back into it. There's no real further reason to have any further delays. So let's crack on, Dan. Pistol round.
Yeah, Lamar. Nice double push from the AGO side there. Does get them the opening kill. Jocko couldn't find anything in reply. And he is dead now as Double Pony changed their form of attack in towards his B site, which goes about as well as it did over in mid. With Fiku picking off one, Lucky's just going to back away. He's had enough of that side of the map. And it feels like right now, whichever way Double Pony are going in this pistol, they're just being sort of shut down and have to sort of reconsider their options. It does look like this time they are going to commit towards this A site. Body having a little bit of a push in, but look at the Julies. Rarlan, I knew he was a magnificent beast when I saw his face, and now he's brought out the Julies. He's just that little bit more magnificent as well, George. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, we're all ready to go then. Pistol round going. We're very happy about it. And AGO getting their best foot forward right away. They're going to be the team to press on, to press open. And it looks like a conservative approach from Double Pony as well, which is all in all not really that upsetting. I think they're going to be they're okay with it. I much prefer the conservative approach on the second round, Dan. I don't know about you, because I think about getting a buy in the third round, and I think about how it's going to set myself up for the rest of the game. And in my view, it's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, just these two Glocks. I mean, shouldn't really be able to do anything as they are just going to get picked apart. It's an easy 2-0 for AGO, securing the conversion. I'm not really surprised I didn't find any kills there.
No.
You just see them close it down. The replay from Trusley. If you want to do a bet, George, you know you can make payments with Trusley over at Pinnacle.
Can I? Wow. Can you tell me more about this, please, Dan?
Well, all I know is it's super easy. You know what else is super easy though? An entry from Jocko. Nails one down, can't convert any more. In the end, it ends up in a 3-on-3, but this first gun round from the Double Pony side, bringing it out in the third round, looking pretty decent so far. We just need to try and convert now against these three FAMASes, George.
Yeah, I think this is looking good. Double Pony definitely have an opportunity here, and they definitely have the more preferred of the weaponry going into it. The problem that they are going to find themselves staring down the barrel of shortly is the lack of utility they seem to be employing into this round. You can see that pretty much body with one flashbang and then Afro with two and just a smoke isn't really going to be enough to convincingly take a site, especially if that happens to be the site where Snatchy resides, because he's got a wealth, he's got a multitude. And the man in his own right has a smoke and a Molotov, which can be used to almost delay indefinitely with the time remaining on the clock. AGO need to think about what's coming in their way. Double Pony need to think about making their move now, and it might be Fiku to be the first port of call. Snatchy still hiding, keeping himself covered. Finally swings out, gets the bomb of all players, but that's two frags back in from Lucky and Afro. That should constitute a bomb plant if they're quick enough about it. Unfortunately, Lehman might be there in time. His tardiness will be unrewarded, though, unfortunately, as he swings on out, swings on down, and gets Afro to take him out the round. Double Pony gets their first round on the board. That's what you get out of the conservative approach. That's the safety, that's the security that you get. And that's also the same level of safety and security you can get out of Trusley.
Indeed, you can. That opening from Jocko, super nice. Furlan does well actually to get himself a couple with that MP9 there. In the end, it doesn't end up being enough for Double Pony, but oh dearie dear, Furlan is already out of this round. Afro has just nailed him up mid. That's a great way to start out the round.
One of the best ways to start the round, but it might still come undone here. Lehman is still lurking about. He actually has Fiku for additional support, but just like the last round, mid is just such a bloodbath. That is 2 rounds in a row now where MP9s on the CT side have gone straying out into the crosshairs of AKs and found limited success, I suppose you would say. Roland just aggressing up middle for the time being in order to be able to try and retrieve a kit, but in the 2 versus 3, he would probably like to rendezvous with Snatchy, or at very least get him some information that can constitute that AWP finding some bold and claimant success. For now, that's not going to be the case. As Double Pony are just going to slow the pace of the round down a little bit, down, bringing it to a crawl before they inevitably explode in the last 30 seconds or so.
I mean, if Snatchy can get something done, that would be huge. But Rowland, the one who takes that initial peek, can't find anything with the orb for now. He's doing damage, body down to 30 HP, but Snatchy with that AWP. And that's the bomb dropped in such an awkward position. Body has to go back to pick it up. He does, in the end, get back to it and also take down Rowland, leaving Snatchy alone. A 1 versus 2. Time ticking against the Double Pony side, but there's the get the bomb planted. Lucky will provide the cover that's necessary. And Double Pony do convert in the 3-on-2. He got a little bit sketchy there, George. Got a little bit sketchy, but they made it out of there.
Certainly did get a little bit sketchy. And I've got to say that despite winning here for Double Pony, they are going to want to start having some cleaner rounds. Really for the objective of just starting to keep that economy rolling a little bit. Start to build it up, because you can see, despite having won 2 rounds, despite being able to get bomb plants in both of those 2 rounds as well, they're still not looking all that, well, healthy economically. They're still a little bit down, a bit worse for wear. $1,600 is about the most that anybody has in residual cash. Thankfully, this round might be a bit of a godsend for them. No real resistance to be fighting up against here. Just upgraded pistols in some cases. No real armor either. And as much as they can to try and dislodge Furlan, who's somehow going to be unhampered by the flames. So still might prove to be a bit of a thorn in the side, despite only being a USP. That thorn might just be like a bit of a thistle. Maybe not even anything that aggressive. A burdock, maybe, just on your jeans. But as it is, he's been immediately dealt with. No thorns, no thistles here today. Lucky is just shedding through them, machete in hand, scything his way through the competition as he makes his way into the B side. Just 2 players remain, Rylan and Leman, trying to defend with what they've got. And I've got to say, what they've got is not all that impressive. It should be over very shortly here. The French side should be finding 3. And hopefully they can keep all 5 players alive for best case scenario.
I mean, maybe you could find a kill here if you're Rowland, but I think eventually he's going to get sniffed out by Afro. They look for the kill. Lucky who finds him in the end. Lamar can't do anything either. Clean as you like. Clean as a whistle, some would say, George.
Easy peasy. Yeah. Easy peasy. Just like currently, betting at Pinnacle. Very, very easy. As you can see, the odds on your screen, they've evened out a fair amount since the start of the game. Double Pony at 1.9, so this is good. If you didn't already know, there is currently a promotion on at Pinnacle. You can bet €10 on any esports match and you get a free €10 as well, but that only applies to new members. You can be a customer and sign up using code CUP21 in order to claim that promotion. Remember, you should be betting in a safe and fun environment, so please bet responsibly. But despite that, Double Pony, they're not betting, they are playing the financial game. They are running the system. And right now, it's big stonks. They've managed to find 2 frags already, only Le Mans to trade so far.
These M4s could do some good work here. I mean, Fiku, this angle is so gross. See if he can actually find a kill with it. Whether we're even going to give him a fight on that angle, whether they might boost up around the side. If Lucky is boosted up, and, well, there goes that angle, I guess, because Lucky has just removed the head of Fiku. Sent him into the afterlife, and now it's just Furlan and Lamar probably just going to have to save these guns. I doubt you really want to try and contest a 2v4. It's going to be 4 on the board for Double Pony. Oh dear. Furlan not even able to escape either. Feels like nothing's going right for AJ once these guns have come out for the double pony side. And that's, I mean, obviously this is the double pony map pick, so it's sort of what you'd be expecting going into this.
Yeah, you should kind of expect this. All things considered, I'm still really not sure where I stand on the position of Vertigo being CT or T-sided. I think I'd imagine at the higher levels of play at the moment, it is showing signs of being slightly more T-sided than it would be CT. And you're seeing that really demonstrated before your very eyes at the moment. Double Pony are having a very convincing time of things. Remember a couple of rounds ago, Dan, where I was saying that Double Pony need to get some cleaner rounds under their belt? Well, in that round, they had 4 players remain alive, and they were up against Rifles. In the round before, it was just 5 players staying alive. So all in all, I think that can be considered a pretty good result. If they can continue that level of form now, they might be finding themselves in a very, very handy position to buy out the remainder of this half, or at least have some serious wealth to fall back on. Currently, AGO are going to be on those Deagles, though, so whilst this is a slightly more threatening buy than they've faced in round number 4 or 5, I think it was, the Deagles do pose a slightly bigger threat. I think it's still something Double Pony should comfortably be negotiating at this moment in time. As Body looks to try and swing out and take a couple of challenges. Unfortunately, it seems AGO are playing just a little bit scared here and just trying to make sure they don't fall too easily. They want to just try and pick away one player, steal away a rifle, and live to fight another day. And so far, so good on that particular endeavour. Afro and Body both finding frags towards the A site. Just Furlan now remains over at B as Yoko took out his teammate. I gotta say, another clean and patient round out of Double Pony. It is just what you'd love to see.
This is scary, I guess, for AGO early on, you could say. I mean, obviously still very early game, but if this continues the way where AGO aren't able to find any sort of consistency or anything at all with guns, this Vertigo is going to be over pretty quick. Snatchy is going to bring out the AWP once again for AGO now. They get the full buy through. Snatchy a little bit light on utility, considering he has none of it. But Furlan's already found an opening kill. But look at Lucky. Hello. Okay, my friend. That was just super aggression in towards the B side. He does get one instantly traded, but his team have been able to find themselves a 3-on-3. Despite Furlan's opening kill. Snatchy still towards the back of this B site. That's a very quick shot. And one-on-one against Afro. He comes out on top. That is great to see. AGO might just be able to land their first gun round now.
I've got to say, it is somewhat alarming for AGO, though, that they were able to... Well, that they didn't realise that Lucky was pressed up all that distance in towards the B site. You really would hope that he would have the facilities to do no more than that. Okay, I'm not sure if Body was looking for more frags there or maybe a knife, but in the end, the shot was fired off and then there was a little bit of confusion as to what was happening for Snatchy. Couldn't adjust quickly enough, but Body, still with 40 seconds. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Just didn't clear the angle fully, didn't do his due diligence, and then switched to the knife and got himself taken down. So, those odds are a changing, Dan. The Pinnacle latest odds. Currently now swinging in favour of Double Pony as you see them updating live at the top of your screen.
I think that's fair, considering sort of where we are right now on this first map. Obviously, Double Pony had a great run here with the guns out. We'll see if they can start to, well, I guess bounce back after just this this one picked up by AGO. You want to try and cut the bleed in before it really spirals out of control, and it's going to be the B site where they're going to attempt to do that, but Fiku holds his ground at least for the first. Lucky is there to trade, and this AGO economy is fragile still. They need to close this one down if they really want to get back into things and close it down with a few players surviving. That's a great push by Furlan, but he does get punished. 3-on-3. Oh no! He's fallen off the map! Was that Afro?
Yeah, it was.
Afro, no. You were so close to greatness.
That's... Oh, no. In all of my time casting Vertigo, I've never watched somebody just walk backwards off the map unintentionally. That is so odd, and it might just be the undoing of the entirety of the round here for Double Pony, and it well and truly will do. AGO, I wanted to say they're starting to find their feet, but I can't help but think they might have just been gifted one there.
Yeah, 3-on-3, Afro walks off the map. That's not fun. That's not fun at all. Oh, we're going to see a replay of it. Oh, we'll certainly see a replay of Rarlan getting a kill. And of Snatchy. Thankfully, I think we're spared from the humiliation of that. But nonetheless, it did happen. It will forever be etched in our brains, George. That's just something we'll have to deal with as now AGO. A bit of a lifeline there. Hoping to make up, or make good of it, rather. Already with an opening kill from Fiku. They're playing very aggressive towards the stairs early on. Fiku does stick around a little bit longer than he would want to and gets punished for that. So 4-on-4, AGO. It's been a bit of a trend in these last couple of rounds. They've been able to find openings, but they haven't been able to sort of get away with them cleanly. Has always been the trades from Double Pony. Trade
masterclass. Those are the things that can win you games. These are the fundamentals that need to be executed upon nicely. And it seems that Double Pony are doing quite well with that off the start at the very least. This time around, they've managed to get another frag, which has gone untraded by AGO. And I've got to say that despite the last 2 rounds being victories for the Polish side, this is something that we've been seeing a fair amount out of them so far. A little bit of a misdemeanor on the trades, not quite being where they want them to be. But Furlan is going to have a lot on his plate in just a moment. You better hope he's hungry, because he has got so much stuff on it. It's a buffet. He's going to get one. Looking for dessert on the second, and may even just come back for thirds. As there's one more player coming up in close proximity, and that was Exercise. Unfortunately, he's taken down by the rotating Lehman. Once again, all up to body in a 1vx situation, and it just does not work out for the Double Pony side. They just waited a little bit too long, didn't have any kind of flashes in front of them as they went for the peak. And I know I was praising their fundamentals beforehand with regards to trading, but when it came to utility usage, they were all a bit shallow. Maybe a bit too long. Nothing to really deter Furlan from going out and finding those 2 frags, as we've just seen in the Trustly replay, as we get a timeout now from the French side.
Yeah, I think that's needed. It was looking very, very good for Double Pony early in these gun rounds. Now starting to slip away. AGO fighting back into things. They've found their footing. But yeah, I think a bit of time to figure things out. Have a vape pit.
Blow a few clouds.
Good things, yeah.
I saw that one of the Double Pony players has got Groot on his cowl. That was a little baby Groot figure. That was quite cute. Look at that. That's a real trophy cabinet of accolades behind the Frenchman there. It's looking okay. I think this is what we were talking about though, Dan. Those rounds before where Double Pony were able to sort of build up a bit of an economy, a bit of a backing behind themselves, get some investment in. Hasn't really worked out in the long run. They've just kind of fallen out of it a little bit here, fallen out of favour, running out of money, and you can see the impact of that now on Body and Afro, both of which not going to be sporting the weapons that they'd have liked, and on top of that, not going to be sporting the utility that they'd have liked either. That should leave them up for some easy fragging, but Jocko has other ideas towards the A side.
I mean, I'd be having other ideas as well. Body trying to get deep. But Snatchy just going to deny them. That's the bomb dropped inside of the A site as well, so they have to commit to this. Luckily, Exercise on the flank is making something work. Has been able to catch Snatchy, but there's still 2 more players to find in the 2-on-2 here, and they're both sort of curled up together. They are going to now drop the smoke, give him a bit of space, and with that, they actually push Jocko, take him down, and through the smoke, Fiku finishes off Exercise too. It is AGO taking the lead here on Vertigo. After they won out the pistol round, the conversion, things started to slow down, but back on good footing here, AGO. As those Pinnacle odds, you can see them. They can see them shift slightly.
Shifting quite a lot actually there, Dan. That's not good. If you want to know more about those Pinnacle odds, by the way, you can head over to pinnacle.com/odds for the latest in-play offerings. I'm sure there are going to be some good ones up at the moment with how this match is volatile and is changing. So keep your eyes over on that if you are the betting type, if you are someone who is inclined that way. I myself am a bit of a betting man, Dan. I don't know about you, but I fancy my chances sometimes.
I don't know, unfortunately.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
But I don't think Double Pony are too happy about it either currently.
No, not at all. Snatchy having a bit of fun there with the AWP, wasn't he?
It's just what he does. He's just a bit too good when it comes to using that weapon. I mean, it's been said before, and now I'm not saying that these views are my own. Let's just quickly put an asterisk there. I don't believe these views, but Twitch chat and other armchair analysts like to peddle the narrative that AGO is just snatchy esports because he is so good with this AWP. Now, there are, of course, 4 other players on the team who do a fair amount of heavy lifting, but it does have to be said. It cannot be understated that Snatchy really is a very, very talented AWPer.
Oh, of course, yeah. He's massively skilled, and I mean we're seeing some of it here. It's always good to see. I mean, but as we said, Afro on the other side of the equation can get things going as well. Maybe the T side isn't working out too well for him right now as Lamont. That's a nice double from him. Actually, a team flash blinding up those T-sided players, but Afro somehow alive with 1 HP. Go buy a lottery ticket after this or something.
He is one lucky boy. One lucky boy, Dan, but I'm afraid Double Pony might not be feeling so lucky here because, would you look, who's got a read on it? Furlan, once again, understanding what's coming his way, dealing with it beautifully. Beautiful shot to Afro. May even just clean up the 3rd and final frag as well, but that aforementioned lucky boy is just going to survive a little bit longer. Almost delaying the inevitable as AGO get up to 8 rounds. And I got to say, whilst I was really on the Double Pony hype train at the early parts of this map, after they went up 5-2, 5-3, they subsequently have fallen a bit flat here. AGO have warmed up a little bit into this game, and I think their defenses now are starting to hold strong. It's taken them a couple of rounds just to work through what Double Pony are enjoying doing, and I think as a result of that, they are now kind of figuring them out a little bit. The more experienced of these two teams, some veteran players on the AGO side, really now starting to use that veterancy, that experience, to figure out how to counteract what Double Pony are throwing at them.
Already AGO a 2-man advantage, and Morales is probably going to extend that out further here. Kill onto body. Afro answers back for 1, but his time is limited. It's all up to exercise. So 1 versus 4. Then into a 1 versus 3. Caught with no gun out there. He's somehow able to get it back in his hands and take down Furlan. A few missed shots potentially, but still, a 1 versus 2 feels like an insurmountable task until you look at the HP for these last 2 players. Snatchy, who had the high HP with 50, has just taken a 7.62 round through the cranium, George, and now it's all up to Lamont. A 1 versus 1. That Molotov going deep towards the sandbags and exercise. The jiggle pates out the peak, and he'll take the fight. Finally, another round for Double Pony, but it comes at exercise 1v4ing to pull that one back.
And you know what? Whilst that round is impressive from exercise to get a 1 versus 4, let's not take anything away from that. It doesn't do wonders financially for the Double Pony side. Like, no. Yeah, sure, it might give them a buy here, but you can see it is giving them a little bit more to think about by way of an economy decision. So they're going to take a timeout to discuss what they want to do for the final round of the half here. Round number 15. As AGO have everything they want. They've even got the AWP on Snatchy. Afro, hypothetically here, should have enough to get it, but it's just a question as to whether he wants to in favour of that utility. As you can see, Snatchy just thinking about it. establishing what he wants to try and do with his men in this timeout as well. What's going to be the strategy? Just
You know
don't
what
know.
you'd be doing
What would
during
I
this timeout?
What would I be doing?
Oh, well, what Twitch chat could be doing?
Oh, please do tell.
Yeah. They could be heading over to Pinnacle,
Could
putting
they?
a bet or two down.
That is something that you could do if you are so inclined, as we've already established you are not.
No, I'm not.
I mean, I have heard like numerous horror stories, to be fair though, so I'm often a bit deterred from betting a lot of the time. I've been betting on the Euros.
Oh yeah.
I usually place a few bets on like the major as well, whenever that's on. Obviously, that hasn't been for a hot minute. But I've never like been one of those people who's gambled my entire like skin inventory on CS:GO. I'm quite sentimentally attached to a lot of my weapons, so I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah. I mean, obviously bet safely. Only bet what you can afford to lose. Should be fun. Betting should be fun.
Should it?
Yeah.
Maybe if it wasn't, it wouldn't like. Maybe you'd like it because you like things that aren't fun, don't you, Dan?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like
boring things.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Very non-enjoyable things like
bread.
Yeah, bread is a real good one. Always catch me with the bread. Double Pony catching the headshots here, though. Or should it be the AGO players catching the headshots?
I suppose so.
Double Pony rifles, yeah. Nice kills coming through. They've managed to secure themselves a man advantage. But there's still a bit of work to go for them to try and close up this half 8-7 and just have that one round deficit heading into the second half. And I'm surprised as well, because obviously AGO, after that sort of first half, they were looking, or the first sort of sequence of rounds, they were looking out of things. But Fiku, he's definitely out of things. That's 2k from him. Exercise tries his best from the mid boost, but can't get enough done to assist his teammate, who, Afro, left alone, can't quite get to a 7th there. So AGO, 9 on the board. That is a very nice first half from them, considering how things were going early on.
That's a very nice first half. I think you'd take that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
I certainly would.
Yeah.
I like a first half like that. I mean, with how things were initially, definitely worthwhile. Definitely worth taking, I think. I think we're going to have a little bit of a moment here before the second half does get underway. So, I don't know what we're going to be doing with it. Just having a look at some replays, I guess, from the first half. But I think this pistol's going to be more important than people are going to give it credit for, Dan. I think it's going to be a big deal. I think they need to figure out what they're going to do about it very shortly.
Yeah, does Lucky have a P250?
That looks like a deagle to me. Someone's dropped him a deagle. That's what's happened.
It's dual Bretters.
Oh, is it? Oh, damn. Okay.
He doesn't have armor, though. He's been dropped these dual Bretters by Afro. But Lucky hasn't bought any armor himself. Interesting. It's a very interesting combination there. AGO, they've gone for the heavy utility setup on this. You can see 2 smokes, a couple HEs, a couple flashbangs. It's a lot of utility for a pistol round. Double Pony just with a couple flashbangs. We'll see if they can get an advantageous fight with one of them. Afro wielding both of those. I think he's just holding, ready to let one pop for his teammate, or should it be required. But Jocko just having a bit of a jump peek right now, not spawning anything out for the time being. Soon he will. There you go. There's the intel. Surely he's there's a couple of clips whiz past him. He definitely knows now. Body. That's a huge kill to find. That eliminates the flank from the AGO side. Rallen taking down now these dual Bretters. Could have found damage. Instead, Lamont, very quick on the trigger, gets him down instead. Into a 3-on-3 we go. 17 seconds on the clock as the bomb starts to get planted. And they can actually push through, potentially deny it. But Body, a couple missed shots initially, does allow that bomb to get planted in time. But now it's just Fiku alone versus 3. Could he pull this one off still? He's taken the first down. Dinked up Exercise, but on the headshot angle, the USB does eventually close things down. And Double Pony close the gap.
That they do. Right you are, my love. Some more Hot Fuzz. We're on
Yeah,
that. We were on that the other day, so I figured why not bring it back out. You know. Right, you are my love. And would you believe it? We are right back into the thick of it. And maybe this is presenting an opportunity now for Double Pony to do something in this second half. It kind of feels like increasingly they need to. Things aren't necessarily going quite as intended so far. Well, that first half was starting to be quite looking like it was how they intended for it to be. And then for the second part of it, didn't really kind of work. To put it lightly, it didn't come to pass in the way that they wanted it to. It doesn't always, though, Dan. Sometimes that is just the nature of the beast. In this round, it is going to be a force buyback from AGO. This is the opposite to what we saw from Double Pony in the first half. Double Pony lost the pistol round on their T side, went for a conservative approach on the second by full ecoing, and then managed to clap back on the third with the round win. AGO here are going to look to try and do that just one step earlier, as they recognise that Double Pony, being on that more expensive CT side, might not have the means to really test them here. It seems like, though, that they're going to be up to the challenge. As AGO do strike back with one onto Fiku, as Afro just unfortunately catches the wrong timing. Even better from Fiku onto the second of body. Now that leaves Jocko with Lucky on less than optimal weaponry, waiting for Exercise's arrival. And he's a little bit far removed from the situation. In fact, they all are, being slightly just pushed away by the cover of smoke. Now into the site goes barreling AGO. Furlan getting off the bomb just to try and press one of these players into his crosshair, but neither of them are being silly enough to go peeking. Finally, Jocko does so into Roland. And that might leave the opportunity open now. Opportunity knocks for AGO to clap back, to strike back, to bring themselves and strengthen their position in this game. Furlan rotating all the way around. Ryland's still inquisitive towards Lucky. He is going to be screwed here. There's finally the coverage from Exercise as it now comes into the 1 versus 1. The time is of the essence! And it will be won by the Frenchman. He manages to catch it and claim the frag of his own. 9-8 now for Double Pony in a very treacherous second round.
Danger there, and just about averted for the Double Pony side, as you say. But I mean, yeah, that's one you're happy that you pick up Double Pony, but you're worried that the fact that you let it get that close, it could be a bit of an issue heading forwards. But we'll wait and see. They're now just up against the Deagles. We know how dangerous Deagles can be, especially in the hands of some of these AGO players. They can certainly turn the tide of a round, even potentially without armor. But it's all that likely we're going to see 9 on the board for the French side here. Oh, there you go. There's the Deagle from Snatch. He found it at first. That's a quick shot. Not much you can do about that if you're Jocko George.
Not really. Not really. That's one of those ones where it's just... There's no counterplay. You'd like to think that everything in CS has some degree of counterplay to it. You know, you can maybe throw a smoke to block off this line of sight. You can anti-strat somebody. But when you're just having your head clicked by a Deagle, no real outplay to that. No real counterplay. It's one of those frustrating situations. AGO going to be frustrated in their own right, as they're now going to leave their original point of contact in middle and try and rotate out and about to one of these two sites more directly. Their mid-take was unsuccessful. It looks like it's now going to be over towards B, where Lucky resides with a UMP. He does have some more supporting cast with him in the shape of Exercise, and then on a hot path rotation should be Body not too far away. In goes Lucky for the first swing. Flashbang is good from Body as well. Nice first shots, unfortunately not able to finish his dinner on a couple of those particular occasions. And now Ryland is going to be called to question as Body comes in to support Exercise at the back for a somewhat hairy third round for Double Pony. But still, they get away with it. And I think you'll take those despite the outcome. So, let's take a look at these odds again. At 9-9, AGO are their favoured team, but not by a grand deal.
No, it's close. It's tight. That's for sure. It's a timeout coming through. It's time to discuss the plan going forwards. Because now the AGO side, they have those AKs out. There's no AWP for Snatchy in this one, but Snatchy's proficient with the AKs as well. Don't make any sort of bones about that one. He's a very, very competent rifler as well.
Competent,
yeah.
Competent, eh, Dan?
I know, high praise.
I think he's a bit more than competent. I think he's a bit good.
A bit good. I'll accept that.
Yeah, well, I'll put it this way: like, if we were to somehow, like, you know, I don't know if you've watched Dragon Ball, but you know when they like do Super Saiyan fusion and do a weird dance, put their fingers together and combine their powers to become one in the same. It's like Mighty Morphin Time from Power Rangers, where they just kind of become one big thing. Anyway, my point that I'm getting to is if we were to become one super casting nightmare, I think our Counter-Strike abilities combined would still not hold a candle to Snatchy. Probably that's testament to just how bad we are, but I think at the same time,
Maybe.
It's also somewhat complimentary that even 2v1, Snatchy would win.
Has been ruined a little bit by the fact that Snatchy's not dead.
You can't win all the time, can you? Just like I was saying at the start of the game for Double Pony, you can't always be the team on top.
Now, as much as I do love being on top, AGO with a man advantage are the ones on top right now. In this round, that is. Looking to try and find double digits before the Double Pony side do. And obviously, if AGO can steal this map away, I mean, they're in a decent position to do so as well. I mean, 9-9, first gun round of the second half. If AGO can start to sort of limit this Double Pony economy, which they've already been able to do quite well in these last couple rounds with just the sort of limited weaponry, they could very quickly start to streak away from this. But let's see if Double Pony can find anything here. Body. Good kill to get even things up as the hit comes through in towards this B side. Body, can he find anything else? Yes, he can. He does a lot of damage as well. There's another 2 for Body. And the man who was meant to be defending the site, Lucky, doesn't have to do a damn thing. His teammates come rolling in and they take all the kills. Lucky just stands behind the smoke, looking pretty, looking fine. And that 9 turns into a 10.
Lovely stuff, isn't it? This CT half is it's going well. All things considered, I thought that this was going to be a little bit. I thought we were going to see a little bit more, but I suppose if the first half is anything to go by, it did take some time for AGO to kind of find their feet, get started, and feel like they wanted to have a little bit more going on. Maybe it's just going to be a bit of a slow starter. Maybe they're not early risers.
But you know what they say, George?
What do they say?
The early bird gets the worm.
See, I'm not too sure about that one. Like I've always, we like an idiom here on the Dan Chan Buffers cast, don't we? We like a good idiom, and we like to critique the etymology of them. Why does the early bird get the worm? Surely worms are present all times of the day. They're not like a finite supply that get restocked overnight,
I think it's more that they come out in the mornings.
Do they? I don't know. Maybe I need to brush up on my Attenborough.
Maybe. It coming in towards the A side. A lot of damage inflicted onto these AGO players. Like they are just inches from death. Damage still being done though, and I mean Fiku, is alone now with 27 HP, but 3 players already taken down this Double Pony side. This is pretty good considering what AGO brought into this one, considering the fact that they are looking for that full buy in the next round. Fiku spots one of them out towards Ivy, looking to try and figure out where Exercise is. Assumes he's going to be rotating in through mid, and that assumption would be correct. Just which angle is he going to peek from? Fiku, I mean, I guess he guesses correctly. Just not ready for that particular angle from Exercise. As Double Pony, 11-9. Getting these gun rounds in thick and fast right now. But as we said, AGO ecoing that last one. Not ecoing, but having a bit of a min buy in the last one allows them to go for the full weapons here. Snatchy on the AWP is what we want to be seeing.
Yeah, that's going to be a big kind of catalyst to this AGO side. If Snatchy can get rolling with that AWP, it is so integral to their approach as a team anyway. So, we'll see if it can happen. AGO. Just going to slowly... I think we're just meandering through the start of this round for the time being, hoping that Snatchy can catch something, but he's already down to 4 HP. Good lord, Dan. That is definitely not what they wanted to see.
Not at all.
Things you hate to see. That, I'm afraid.
Edition 1.
And Snatchy down to, of course, that 4 HP makes him extremely susceptible to A, further utility, B, random stray bullets through smokes, and C, just generally being a bit weak and can't really get into the places of the round where he wants to get into them. Now this boost from Body is going to pay dividends on the first frag onto the healthy Le Mans. Fiku also going to try and take point, but Rallen moving in just beforehand through elbow manages to get nothing out of it as well. This is a great round so far from Double Pony, especially for Body, who's found both frags so far. Of course, the Starman for AGO, little do they know, is already down low on a very low number of HP, and now he's the last man standing. 4 HP for Snatchy to go against 4. I don't think that he's going to be too closely contested into this round. It's going to be an easy clean-up for Double Pony. 4 players stay alive. It's 4s all round. Unfortunately, that's not reflected in the latest odds from Pinnacle.
Yeah, I don't see a single 4 in those odds.
It's disappointing, because if that would have been like a string of 4s somewhere, then that might have been the craziest setup for quite some time.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but that's the way things go, George, in this industry. Nothing ever really works out for us.
Oh, that's very depressing. I think it's certainly worked out for Double Pony here, though, as you'll get to see in your trusty replay. And this is certainly a bit of a good start for Body Oddy, as he's soaring to #1 in the charts. But I don't know, is he soaring to #1 in the charts? Body has had a seemingly quite a good game here. He and Exercise are actually both leading the way, 19 frags apiece. Of course, Furlan and Le Mans are both on 18, bringing up the rear a little bit. You expect to see a little bit more out of Snatchy on 12. He is the consistent performer, but not even Simple or Zywoo can have good games every game. There's always going to be a slight mishap somewhere along the road. But that's a good start for Fiku, taking down one of the hot men on the Double Pony side. Exercise out of the equation right away.
That is good, actually. That is really nice. That nade, less nice for AGO. That is much less nice. Snatch is now on 15 HP. Le Mans down to 47. Fiku's on 30. There's a whole load of tenderloins over at the ramp room. Do you enjoy tenderloin, George?
Depends, really.
Yeah. This is a little awkward to watch, not gonna lie. Rallen missing a few shots there, but eventually gets one down with the... He actually makes it a second for himself as well. Now the lone against 2. He's put Body to 11 HP. There's potential for another kill. And why is Body taking the fight? You don't need to. You let your teammate rotate in. Yeah, Le Mans has the bomb, but he still has to plant it. Come on. Now you've left your teammate in a 1v1 against a round where it was just deagles from AGO. That is a lot of damage done already, and Le Mans could, in theory, still take this round away. All it needs is one well-placed deagle shot, and Lucky's out of it.
This is going to be a rough one. A very, very rough one, as he starts to encroach onto Lucky's position. AK, but goes for the shot, sliding around the corner. Lucky is just that little bit more ready for it. Jesus, they nearly did chuck that round away. Body unnecessarily peeking into all of that to get himself taken down. I mean, all that has to happen there, like he was starting to kind of lay out, was that Body just needs to kind of play patient, wait for Lucky to rotate on in, and then you, even if Le Mans does go to the B site, for example, tries to make a rotation, you are 2v1. You still have the man advantage. You have the firepower advantage, most likely, as well. There's no way that he's going to be able to get to one of those AKs on the A site by going back around to B. So best case scenario is you give him a bomb plant, but it seemed that Body was feeling himself a little bit too much on 11 HP and gets himself taken down. So despite the outcome of the round still being a victory, there's still some things to critique there for Double Pony.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose in 4 players in a round against the Eagles, there's always something to critique. That you should be aiming for at minimum 3 players, I guess, surviving it around like that. But yeah, generally you want 4 or 5 often. As hard as that usually is, 4 or 5 is where you want to be, because that's where you're going to be sort of building up the cash, especially on the CT side. That is so necessary. And already, Double Pony making up for that opening kill that was found by Thiku. Body replies in kind, and there you go, 4 on 4. But still lots of options for AGO.
Lots and lots of options. But what are they going to choose to do? Well, Afro's going to miss the shot, unfortunately, as he has to turn from the flashbang. So now Furlan looking to try and exacerbate matters just that little bit worse, as AGO are actually trying to run interference with Furlan over here towards the A site. He's just doing nothing to help them. Well, apart from over at the B site, apart from literally keep every CT player here at A. So now this round is going to be over already, before it's really even had a chance to get started on the retake. Nothing that can be done about it. Jocko, Exercise are going to try and clean up as many T's as they can, but they ultimately come to the same conclusion that I have, Dan, which is this round is going to need to be conceded.
Jocko just trying to hold on to this AWP. But does get the shot onto Rallen, so that leaves just 2 AGO bodies still animated on the server. We'll get to see them all reanimated in the next round, though. Isn't that a lovely thought?
I do like the thought of people's impermanence never being impermanent, you know? They just get to return.
Yeah. I like the thought of Trustly, if I'm honest.
You do?
Yeah.
I like it too. Safe, quick, easy, speedy.
Yeah.
And it even works in collaboration with Pinnacle. So you see how all the sponsors for this event kind of all come together to create the perfect storm.
It's like when you sort of like put your hands together and interlock your fingers.
Unironically, I actually did that at the same time you said that. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. Not even kidding. I actually just did it. Mm-hmm. Perfect. It is. You've seen Tenet?
I have not.
Oh,
no.
It's the hand signal from Tenet. You need to watch Tenet. It's a film that'll blow your mind.
Maybe we could have a movie night at some point, George.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Me and you. Yeah.
That's too sweet.
There is the Groot as well.
Yes, I told you. He was there, baby Groot.
Yeah.
Snapped back into existence now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, well, dear. That's a spoiler.
If you haven't seen Endgame by now, I think you've only got yourself to blame. If you've not watched it by now, you're never going to watch it.
That's true.
It's just like one of the most mammoth film events.
I remember a couple of years ago, I had someone call spoilers at the end of Titanic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like enough time has passed now.
Yeah. That was the one where I thought, yeah, now I'm going to keep talking.
Yeah. Get out of here with your spoilers.
Oh, dearie me. Double Pony losing the man early. They are on a bit of a hindered bye here. But maybe lucky this AWP can find something for them, and he certainly will. And that is Furlan that he's found as well. It's a nice kill to find. Rallen having a bit of a duel in towards mid, but with the low HP that Exercise dealt him, he can't really take a continued fight. Tries a couple of jiggles, and in the end, he has to succumb to the Borg of Exercise. And that's now a couple guns picked up for the Double Pony side as well, to complement what they sort of were able to bring into this.
Even all the angles that Double Pony try and throw at AGO, they read them but still can't win the engagement, still can't win the 1 versus 1s, as now Snatchy has to win a 1 versus 4. He's getting pinched in from both sides, and it's the one side that's going to be the big damaging factor as he gets double peaked. Unfortunately, for an AWP, not usually the easiest situation to really negotiate, as you will get taken down 9 times out of 10, because you can't shoot both players at once. Not like an AK where you might be able to transition from head to head. It's more stagnant, a bit static, and unfortunately not quite as successful.
Yeah, with the up, you are limited by its just inherent fire rate, so not much you can do about that. Unfortunately. Look at those odds, though. 1.5 for Double Pony now. Starting to weigh pretty heavily in their favour from this map. Which, yeah, it's fair. 14 to 10. They're looking good to try and close this one down. Just 2 more required for them on Vertigo before we head into Ancient, which will be the AGO map pick, and a map that both me and you, George, we're both thinking that Double Pony aren't really going to have a chance to fight in.
I don't know. Maybe there is something in there. Who knows? They certainly look like, on balance, they have been the better team here, especially on the CT side of Vertigo. But we're not out of the woods yet, and AGO at this round are already looking like they've got an advantage. Body elevating, trying to catch players out over and around the smoke. Unfortunately, might try and do the same thing again. How is he getting away with this? Twice in a row, he gets 2 frags out of that now, leaving it all up to Exercise as he finally gets traded out. But Exercise is having a good game. Exercise has already won a 1vx situation. A 1v2 is way easier compared to what he had to muster earlier on. But now on 8 HP, we'll go over towards the AWP in order to try and transition this round into a victory, into map point for Double Pony. Clearing all of his appropriate angles, but just straying out a little bit too far after dropping a smoke on top of the bomb. So Furlan will collect 11 to 14. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for the AGO side in that last round.
Do you see that trustly elevator then, George?
Trustly elevator?
Yeah. It's that sort of elevator outside CT Spawn, but it had the Trustly logo on it.
Wow. Trustly are really branching out.
A safe and secure way to descend the building.
Oh, it's even on the arms of the CTs.
Yeah.
Government agencies sponsored.
It's getting a little bit hairy here for AGO. Things are getting very hairy for AGO. Only 2 of them survive, and it was just pistols in this round from the double... Oh, dear, oh, dear. And now the last one alive. This has gone... Just... Think about the worst round imaginable, and this is pretty close to it.
Yeah, this has not been a fun walk in the park for Furlan or AGO here, as now he is left to walk home late at night. And, unfortunately... He is accosted on the A site for the 15th round for Double Pony. That secures the map point. Just 1 round shy of all that now. And AGO, they need to do quite a lot to close the gap. The problem that they're going to find themselves here with, Dan, is they don't really have the money. $3,300 for about 3 players on the AGO side is not really enough to constitute a very healthy buy whatsoever.
No, it's not. You'd definitely be wanting a little bit more cash to spend with here, but it is the hand that been dealt. And now, as you can see, a Mac 10 for Fiku. A couple AKs, a couple Gleals. We'll see if it's going to be enough to try and keep this map alive, or whether Double Pony are going to send us to Vertigo with that 1 map, to Ancient with that 1 map lead, rather, and close out Vertigo, but... Certainly looking that way. Furlan does find 1 with a triplet of frags in return from the Double Pony side. Things look grim for both Fiku and Laman. At least Fiku's able to upgrade off that Mac 10. That's something to work with now, as he has an AK in his hand. Dropping 3 smokes.
How many smokes do you
want? Stacks and stacks of smokes there for him to work with. He's basically carpeted the entire approach to A site. It does little to assist him, though, because Jocko sniffs him out either way. And with that... It is Double Pony taking the dub on map 1, George.
It is indeed. And I've got to say that I'd be quite happy about that if I'm Double Pony.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, taking your map pick is always something to be happy about, but taking it in that kind of fashion, you know, where it was close at first and then ended up being a little bit better for them later on, definitely good. Definitely lots to be happy about. Anyway, we'll get to see if they can do better in Ancient coming up after this quick break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gents. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pinnacle Cup II. It is time to get into the action with Double Pony against AGO here on Ancient. We've already seen Vertigo. It was a Double Pony dub. And now we'll see if they can transition that into the map pick of AGO. My name is Boffus. I'm joined by Danchan. Let's get you into the action with the Pinnacle odds.
Oh yeah, and you can see how much they've swung after that first map, 1.3 in favour of Double Pony. I'm not sure if it's going to be that easy for them here on Ancient, but this pistol round looking pretty damn good right now. Only Rylan remaining, a 1 versus 4, and he is gonna get nailed. Afro closes it down with a 3K, and I mean he was a little bit of a little bit of sleep on Vertigo. It felt like. I mean, obviously his team's still coming out with the win, but I'd like to see more from him, especially with the AWP.
Yeah, obviously wasn't really the most spellbinding of Vertigos, but maybe there's something to happen. Hey, look, Terrorists are sponsored by Pinnacle on their backs as well. Didn't realise that before. It's all a friendly affair. It's actually just one long training exercise. That's what Counter-Strike is.
Yeah, it's a nice way of looking at it, I guess.
Yeah, nobody actually gets hurt.
No.
No, everyone's fine. Unlike
Simulation.
Body, who is just not fine right now. Regrettably, he is very not okay. Down and out of the round. That's not going to be the best of starts here, unfortunately. Double Pony desperately want to try and stretch the advantage early on. You need to get the best out of a bad situation, and unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do that because AGO, or more specifically Furlan, has just turned this round upside down as Reitz and Fiku spin a yard into a fantastic approach. They come out of that with 4 rifles or 4 weapons as well, out of the potential 5 earnings they could have had. And Double Pony get broken right away. Back into the doldrums of their own economy, back into the doldrums of this map. AGO not going to let them breathe.
I mean, they're very nice shots, don't get me wrong. They do sort of just line up a little bit. Doesn't really have to move his crosshair for either of those shots. They peek right into it, but that is, you know, good crosshair placement. He's got his gaming chair. Helps him with that one.
He's got a great gaming chair.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of gaming chairs that much.
Oh, they're okay.
A little bit overrated.
I just like the full recline function that allows me to pretty much just fall asleep in my chair.
Yeah.
But
I just prefer an office one. Like, well, not an office, but like I've got like a sort of like padded fabric one. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Comfy. Yeah.
Does it cure Swamp Pass?
No. The Swamp Pass is an issue with a fabric chair.
Oh, believe me when I say it's worse with leather.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is not good. I mean, we were just here minding our own business, expecting AGO to be able to close down a round pretty cleanly here, but Body has found a couple kills on the Deagle alongside Afro, and now they have the man advantage.
What is it?
CQ and Furlan left.
What is it with these damn 4 spies down?
I know. They can't keep getting away with it.
You Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah.
You can't keep getting away with it. But it looks like they're about to. Yeah, they're gonna get away with it quite nicely. Not quite as impactful as the AGO 4 spy was, where they get away with 4 rifles. These time, Double Pony get away with 3. But you know, still all in all, not that bad. I think I'd be pretty happy about it. I would also be pretty happy about using code CUP21, by the way, on Pinnacle. If you fancy doing that, you can bet €10 and get €10, but that is only for new members. So bear that one in mind. Bet responsibly, gamble responsibly, and all that good stuff. And maybe make yourself a little bit of profit on the stonks that Double Pony are outputting in round number 3.
Massive stonks. Into round 4. Do you know what the best kind of kill is in Counter-Strike, George?
Please do tell.
The one where you don't actually see your opponent.
Yeah,
don't put yourself in any sort of danger.
They're the ones that frustrate me the most.
Mm.
Well, we
feel like you don't have a chance to fight back.
We have the master of those frags in the server. Remember the body bang on Cash?
Oh yeah. The sort of the original sort of
The original cheese.
overpowered.
Yeah.
Matchmaking was hell for like a month afterwards.
Everyone just thought they could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I suppose the same thing happens in other esports, though, right? Like if in pro play, in an MMO or a MOBA or something, someone plays like a certain champion, and then everyone's just trying to spam that champion for a week.
Yeah.
It makes matchmaking experiences not very fun, I'd imagine. Or maybe like someone will see an ace with an MP9 or something, and they'll just only use an MP9.
Yeah, maybe. AGO looking to push into this
Not again.
B bomb site, and I mean it's working out pretty well for them. Yeah, they had a little bit of like limited weaponry for a couple of these AGO players, but the AKs, they do the damage, they get the kills required. And we're just going to go swings and roundabouts here, it looks like. Round and round we go. Reets and Ra than the last two Rollins on a big old flank. He could surely take down Afro, and he will. That leaves just Exercise, a 1 versus 2, but he's very quick on the trade, making sure Rowland can't get out more than he's worth, and that nade could have been enough. Reets left on 12 HP, lucky to be alive as he hides inside of the smoke. The bomb not really planted in a good position for him, but as it begins to fade, he'll have the angle. And it is going to be AGO. Tying us up once again, 2-2. Neither team able to get away early on here. It's a very hotly contested start to this ancient map. And maybe Double Pony have more to show us than we maybe expected coming into this.
More force buys. I'm guessing that's what's going to be coming out of Double Pony here. I mean, let's be honest, they're a French team, so that's what we should expect. We'll see if it does come to pass. But the force buys are front and centre most of the time. And right again, we're going to have that. Ancient doesn't mind a force buy by the looks of things. This seems to be a map that, all things considered, likes it. Does all right with it. I like a force buy, Dan. Are you partial to a force buy?
They're all right.
They're okay.
I mean, they can help to sort of keep a game sort of interesting round to round, but...
You know, when I'm playing, though, I kind of think of it like that meme. The one that, the format where it's like Virgin Force Buy, Chad Eco.
Yeah.
I like some Chad economy management because I would love to have some rifles pretty much any time.
I'm down there with the betas.
Yeah?
Yeah. It looks like we might finally get ourselves around here where it's the guns that are succeeding.
Yes, the forces are not being forced. The enforcers. I don't know. I don't know where I was going.
Did you just have a stroke?
No, it was like the 4Cs, like the forcers and the 4Cs. Like you have employers and employees, but then I couldn't really figure out in my head what the 4C would be. Like the person who gets forced on, I guess. And I suppose then in that instance, if using that logic, the 4Cs have come out on top with a third round. Finally, breaking the deadlock. It's much needed.
Yeah, and AJ will be happy with that. I mean, obviously, you see Double Pony saving four sort of weapons into this next round. Not really great weapons. It's a few Deagles and MP9 for Lucky, but considering that they would have absolutely zilch in this next round, makes sense not to throw everything at what would most likely be a lost cause, retaking that B bomb site. And this time you can at least try and find some damage in the next round as well, before you get the guns out in force. Bit of early utility towards main, but it's for Double Pony. Pretty much their entire resistance is posted over towards B early on. Ralman's been able to get one and scoot away with the help of a bit of utility, but look at Afro. He's rotated over towards A, and he could be in a great position here over by the temple, but smokes do occlude his vision, spamming through the smoke. He does take one down with the P250, just, you know, spraying and praying. And it comes to fruition, so you can't fault him for that.
Does indeed come into fruition, and now back in a 4-on-4, like you mentioned, maybe soon to be leveled into a 3-on-4 as V2 is looking a little bit trapped. How does he get away with it? One frag out of that is absurd, considering how low he was already chimed on down, and it's going to be finished off by Reets. The re-addition to the roster here for Ancient, obviously replacing Lamont. 6-man rotation for AGO, in case you hadn't just clocked that. But even still, that is mental there from Fiku to manage to A, stay alive and then slide out for that frag. Of course, it's great that Reitz manages to get 3 out of it to finish the job, but I think that the real hero play, which burned all the time off the clock, allowing the bomb plant, keeping those players in position and locked up, Fiku, MVP of that round for me.
You know, he did good work. I'll give him that. And this is what we like to see. Afro on the up, getting aggressive, getting a pick and backing away, has exercise to cover him, and together they just fall back. You can see Afro already readjusting over towards Donut. Wants a bit of that big pastry. I wouldn't want to be trying to chew into the donut here, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look all that...
Bit hard.
Doesn't look all that tasty, does it? You might need some dental work once you're done.
Yeah. Really grinding the rocks there.
Yeah, the old Nosh is not going to have a fun time with that one.
Certainly not. Hello. Jocko is probably as surprised as Rallen is with that engagement, but look where Furlan has gotten to. A being given up for the most part, obviously leaving Afro in that sort of aggressive position towards a donut, looking towards mid, has given a lot of space to AGO just to walk through A for free. And he's going to be able to cut off the rotations. Afro's still finding damage with this AWP, but look now, finally, Furlan can make his mark. Afro's finding a lot of damage elsewhere, and it is just Furlan left alone, spotted out, taken down by Jocko. That flank could have been so much more for AGO, but Afro getting those kills down. And getting the round down. But Pinnacle odds, I think it's pinnacle.com/odds, you can check them out. And as you said before, get yourself a nice little bonus if it is your first time at a visit to Pinnacle Cup 21. That was a nice shot from Furlan, but...
It is a very nice shot from Furlan. And if we can see a few more of those out of the AGO man, there's a chance that they can start to run away with it. Unfortunately for them, though, Double Pony are not interested in that particular line of questioning. They don't want to explore that timeline anymore. They just want to press on, get it going. See what they got. So far, so good for Double Pony, as they have managed to force back in here. They have one thing that AGO don't in this round as well, which is, of course, the AWP. Bit of a nade strike going in, but there is the aforementioned big green gun, striking and nailing Reet down to the canvas. He's going to be out for the count for the time being. Unfortunately, Afro taking a little bit too much damage through the smoke. And that little exchange might have left them a little bit worse for wear, as Fiku manages to also capitalise on exercise, leaving the A site now a little bit too unguarded for my liking, Dan. Thankfully for AGO, I don't think they're to know that just yet, even though they are preparing the B site.
Molotov going to make things uncomfortable for Furlan. He falls forward as the smoke begins to fade. That opens up opportunities for him that he can't quite capitalise on. Does put Lucky down low on HP, and with Rallen on the flank, he just needs to bide his time, but Lucky can't survive much longer. Body, his days are numbered as well, as you can see Rallen actually having to fire off early on Afro, but doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. The round goes away of AGO, and they secure a 5th on the board as they work on moving those Pinnacle odds back into their favour. Round by round, obviously Double Pony with the map victory on Vertigo. That was their map pick. Ancient picked by AGO, and they have a really good record on Ancient do AGO. They were one of those first adopters of the map. We'll see whether they can continue to be destructive on their... Oh, this nade. Oh, God. It actually doesn't do as much as I expected. Fiku's AK doing most of the work, but Jocko and Body, a killer piece. They've been able to find something out of these USPs, and now with an AK picked up, it matters not at all, because Snatchy and Furlan deal with the resistance, as little as it was towards the end there. But, I mean, a couple of kills, that's pretty good, considering the USPs that were brought into the fray.
Yeah, it's okay. pretty good, I suppose you could say, if you're really trying to stretch it out a little bit. Look for as many positives as possible. In the end, the gap is still starting to open up here, and this might be one of the largest gaps that we've seen throughout the course of this game so far. In fact, throughout the course of this best of 3 so far. If you cast your mind back to Vertigo, I think the biggest round gap we got was 3 when it was about 5 to 8, at which point AGO and Double Pony kind of closed up to 8 to 7, and then, well, obviously towards the end of the game, the gap opened up again. But in the early parts of the game, at the very least, this is the biggest advantage we've seen. It's not really showing too many signs of slowing down. AGO really have found their footing, and like you were mentioning, they, on the whole, admittedly, do look like the slightly better team statistically on this map. They seem to have been like one of the early adopters to it, like you mentioned. So we'll see if that is going to be really, truly effective, or whether Double Pony have something up their sleeve that they maybe haven't revealed just yet. Maybe when it comes to their T side, they'll have a little bit more to say.
That's something we'll have to wait and see. Can't know for sure, but that push was bold from Jocko. Not necessarily brave, bold. I'll go for that. As he doesn't end up finding anything apart from some damage, and he pushing through his own, or pushing through the Molotov. Always a difficult one. Always a difficult one. Hasn't paid out this time. Now Body's seen what he can just find through the smoke, but I don't think he'll get much of anything.
Neither do I, somehow. It's not looking good for Double Pony. Not boding well for them whatsoever. Exercise sliding out to try and do what he can. Only secures himself 1 frag before Furlan is able to trade him away. Now Body with 1 more. Still a 2 versus 3, and 2 of those 3 players are low on HP. Afro has just slipped by Rowland. This could be a huge, huge result for Afro here if he just gets behind at the right moment in time. The only problem is for Body is that he doesn't know that Rowland snuck by either. So if that timing would have worked out just a little better, Afro now, opportunity knocks. 1 versus 3 potentially. He's got 1, 2, third is just around the corner, but he's not readied in time. Again, still not anticipating Rowland after they passed one another. And again, AGO finds 7. AGO find the round. AGO just get away with murder.
Yeah, they had no business in that round whatsoever. I mean, Afro, this was a great position. Couldn't quite make it work for the final kill though, and 7 to 3. AGO looking really strong once the sort of initial force by war was settled. And I mean, that's what we sort of expected. Furlan already found an opening kill. It is just against Pistol. The Body's angle. Oh my god, he actually checked for him. That's got to be so just annoying. The Body there. Probably felt like he had a great position to find damage with. Unfortunately for Double Pony, they don't find a single kill in that round. And that's the sort of thing you want to be seeing with these full gun rounds against the pistols, essentially. Just keeping 4 or 5 players alive and building up the cash behind you. Getting those fat stacks in.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Fat stacks. Yeah. And that's something that you could stand to make if you were to put an in-play bet on currently with Pinnacle.com. You can head to Pinnacle.com/odds and see a little bit more about what's happening with this game. Of course, we've been keeping track of the odds all game long. Yeah. And whilst at the very start of this affair, it was looking to be a bit of a Double Pony favourite, that seems to have petered out a little bit now, as AGO are finding their form, they're finding their feet, and they're really looking like they're ready to go for a bit of a sprint. Roland, once again, taking priority, taking the initiative to try and get a little more control of middle. Body has done something a little bit different this time, though. Unfortunately, I think Biku is just going to be executing into exercise and maybe even finding Afro here as well. Thankfully, the AWPer gets away with a frag, so doesn't lose control of the situation entirely for Double Pony. It just might delay it, though, because already lots of territory has been afforded over to AGO. Look at this already. They already have smoke set for executes. They have strategies. Their playbook is deep on this newly added map.
Look at Body. Yeah.
Could be doing it. Could be doing the business. Could be Body and the rest of the team from behind. But unfortunately, they managed to evade him. They managed to slip the net. And now Snatchy with the rest of the gang, the 3 remaining players, look to try and make themselves known inside of the B site. Unfortunately, that hasn't really gone to plan, Dan. They're now going to try and get out of there. Rotate away into the A site. And it seems that Body once again has predicted it, but a crisp, clean shot from Rallen might be all that they needed. Lucky back in with one more. 1 versus 2 now for Furlan. Punching in the digits for the bomb plant. Will get that one sorted right away, but Lucky just around the corner, prying in, and grabs the frag. So Double Pony finally clapping back with one of their own. It's been much needed. This has been getting out of hand for a little bit of time now. And the Poles finally concede.
Feels like it's been a long time since we've had a double pony round, but a 4th on the board for them. Just what the doctor ordered. Don't know if the doctor would prescribe a 4th round, honestly. I'm not sure what medical condition would require 4 rounds as a prescription.
Extreme round deprivation?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It is, it's a strange one, I've got to say.
CSGO withdrawal?
CSGO withdrawal. I don't think that would be cured by just 4 rounds, I've got to say. Maybe 4 games.
Maybe you need to regulate how much you're doing. You don't. It's like when you go a long time without eating, without eating lots or anything. You can't just have a big fat meal because you'll overeat yourself and cause some serious issues. So maybe it's like that.
Well, I don't know. I think,
or the same with dehydration.
I think
shouldn't gulp down loads of water.
I think even if I was depraved of CSGO, I would just go all out because I can't stop myself.
You're a naughty boy.
I'm a naughty boy. I don't have it in me to...
So is Afro.
Don't have it in me.
Afro's a naughty boy too, I've heard.
Yeah, he's got it in him, though. He's really got the bit between his teeth, trying to pull his team through into an advantageous situation. Unfortunately, not quite coming to pass just yet.
Look, he might get caught out. He's around the corner. VQ waiting for him, and VQ a little bit awkward on the spray. But he gets it done. Afro's still finding damage as well. Now left alone, needs to find a lot more damage. And obviously they know he's around here. So they're just going to lock off these angles with smoke to make sure we don't really have anything to play with. Oh no! The USP through the smoke denies the plant. There is enough time to get that plant down again. 35 seconds on the clock now as they do manage to do so. But it's a cheeky kill found by Afro. And it makes this post plant a little bit easier. A little bit more conceivable. Still, though, it's not going to be easy. Miku dancing around the pillar. Ace out the shot. That could have been his demise. But he still survives. And Afro's really worried about a potential push around the other angle. Now he knows it's clear. VQ's just trying to bait out the AWPer. But he doesn't expect him on the second angle. And Afro, once again, can't find the shot. And finally, VQ will take him down. A bit of a cat and mouse chase there. But VQ ends up taking home to the bank for another round for that AGO side. And you can see at the top as well, it's just been these individual rounds for double pony. There's not to find anything consistent, George.
It's been sporadic, hasn't it? Been a bit sporadic. Nobody really has shown any kind of, any kind of consistency from the double pony side. They've been able to just drop in the occasional round here and there, but I haven't really been able to string anything together. And on Ancient, that's kind of what you need. You want to be starting to try and break down this economy of AGO. And so far, that is just not going to plan. Smoke in place here, though, to try and remove some players, or at least section them off for a little bit of time. In fact, the B-site press from Furlan there is a little bit strange, just off the bat. Just to quickly dissect that one for a moment. I do think it's just a bit weird that he's pressing into the site without any support. What's even weirder is the fact that Body is being allowed to get 2 frags completely untraded, now leaving Snatchy as the last man standing. 1 versus 2. He's got Lucky and Jocko to go up against. Jocko's managed to get his hands on an AK-47, and Lucky might soon be trying to do the same thing. Anyway, Snatchy going over towards the B site, pumping in those digits. In fact, the A site, sorry. Now heading back in towards Temple before Lucky just executes him. What is it with these force buys on Ancient, and why is this map lending itself to them so handily?
I think a lot of it's just to do with force buys in CSGO. Deagle's just too strong.
They are extremely strong at the moment, you are right.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know some people think they need an nerf. I don't know. I think they're not too bad, Deagles. I just think a lot of players practice with them a lot. Imagine it, George, just imagine for a moment. Cash yourself to a place where Valve just removed Deagles from CSGO tomorrow.
Wow.
Imagine the pandemonium.
I'm imagining it.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying it. It would be uproar everywhere. I think, I don't know, because the Deagle has always characteristically been a weapon that can one-shot you to the head, but it hasn't always been such a problem when the level of skill between, well, on the whole, was generally a little bit lower. But we're at a point now in CSGO where everybody is just so shit hot all the time, to use a bit of an Anglo-Saxon expression. Like, they're always on form. Their aim is just crispy. The Deagle in itself, with that, is just naturally, intrinsically going to be a very overpowered weapon if some people are able to wield it. And we see it increasingly now with all these new prodigal talents coming through, and especially with these younger players who just have been brought up on CSGO. They know how to aim it, they know how to make it work, and AGO, they know how to try and make a force by work. Unfortunately, Double Pony are the team that's been able to bring it back from the brink towards the end of the half here. Fiku now remains just 1 versus 3, and unfortunately doesn't have the bomb in his possession either. Will need to try and transgress through mid doors in order to try and ascertain that, but he's got the wrong timing, and Exercise will finish the job for a 6-9 half. Not in favour of Double Pony. But if you cast your mind back to Vertigo, they too did not manage to succeed in winning the first half there either.
Yeah, that's very true.
Surprisingly,
AGO had a really strong first half, didn't they?
These odds are surprising to me, Dan. Double Pony still the heavily favoured team, despite it being a very strong half from AGO.
I think, obviously, with the first map victory going their way, I think that plays a part. So we'll see if things start to change as we head into the second half pistol round. A lot of utility for the Double Pony side. You can see a couple of smokes, a few flashbangs, and Molotov as well in the hands of Lucky. That is, well, Fiku's just been annihilated. Choco just double taps him with the Glock. Nice opening kill. Reeks on the uncharacteristic C-75. Does get the kill, but he's able to at least scarp her back and pull a player into his domain. He can't get any more, though, for himself, as Double Pony with the bomb planted. A couple of players are so low, but Choco still finding damage. 2 HP for him. That's all he needs. That's all he needs. Now it's up to his teammates to try and do some of the work. Lucky takes down one and leaves Snatchy all on his lonesome, but Choco steps up to the plate and 4 kills for him in the round. Almost the ace.
Almost. And I gotta say, that's a really good and much needed round for Double Pony. If they can now stretch that into finding a second, third, maybe even fourth, if they're able to clap back against the guns, and they'll find themselves in a really good spot. I'm interested to see what AGO's approach for the second round here is going to be, and it is what I thought it was going to be. It is the Force Spy coming in. We've obviously spoken at length already in the first match about whether the Force Spy is the better strategy, but the Nade Strike seems to be the one of choice here, as it's taken 2, along with the Scout taking a 3rd. This has gone from looking fine and dandy for the Double Pony side to now looking like it's kicking up a bit of a fuss and rearing its ugly head once again. Good Lord. Good Lord.
Oh, give me some time, jeez. Nice shots from Fiku there. And that is, yeah, that's the Deagles going straight back at the Double Pony side. I mean, this first shot not cleanest, but the second, oh,
very crispy.
Get a room.
Very crispy. And we're right back into what we were experiencing in the first half, Dan.
Oh, say it ain't true.
Deagle City! Hope you're looking forward to a fun little time, because it's about to be Force Spy Central up in this biatch.
I mean, now you've said that, AGO are just going to stomp this round and,
imagine.
And roll to the end of the game, aren't they? But
yep, right on cue.
Is it? Do you believe in the caster's curse, George?
I feel like the evidence for it is pretty damning at this point.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that is like as far as you can be from a Deagle winning a Force Spy round there. Not a single point of damage was done to the AGO side.
Nothing is going their way. And already those Pinnacle odds, the latest in-play odds, have managed to just drag themselves down a little bit. Clearly, Pinnacle's thinking, all right, AGO might have a chance here. And I'm starting to be inclined to agree. However, we still might have another map to play should AGO take this. So if you're looking for your in-play bets, then that's all good. Keep your eyes on that at pinnacle.com/odds. But overall, for the outcome of the game, all they'll have been placed beforehand. And we'll see what these Glocks... What the hell are they... Is going on? 2 Glocks, 2 kills. HE grenade to do some damage. Body's just... Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. This round is Glocks, Dan. This round is just Glocks. Fiku trying his best to clutch. Gets 1 frag. Now tempting fate with body for another. Molotov just going to burn him. And now it's just going to be up to Lucky. An M4 in his hands. Down the other side, the smoke tags him. In fact, dinks him. And Lucky and Double Pony with the Glocks and nothing more find an 8th. It wasn't Deagle City, but it's still lesser weaponry victories all across the board. AGO still can't catch a break.
George. What just happened, George?
I don't know, Dan.
We were joking. We were joking about the Deagles. I thought we'd passed that. I thought we'd passed the issue, and now Glocks. As Dazed would say, Glocks.
Thankfully, not being killed by a manager.
A coach, a manager. Those were the good days.
We miss you, Dazed.
Yeah. Living up in Valorant now, isn't he?
I don't even think he's part of the T1 team anymore. I think he just got dropped.
Oh, well. That's a sore spot.
Yeah.
I won't bring that one up again.
I think he got dropped for Brax.
A lot of damage being inflicted through that wall there. Reet's left on 9 HP. I mean, Afro is not too much better with 2. But if he peeks into Snapgy's AWP, it doesn't matter how much HP you have, because you're dead either way. And he is. Lucky now trying to do what he can, but Exercise only good for 1 as well. Leaves Lucky now alone. That nade does good damage, and it might allow the spray down. It certainly does. 9-11. Double Pony able to get 1 back here on this T side. This time not with the Glocks. This time with the full weapons, but it was a little bit more difficult all in all. 1v2 there at the end does go the way of the Double Pony side in the French. Now just 2 behind XCOM AGO, who look like they might be romping to a pretty clean second half here.
They're on their way. And once again, it's going to be pistols, this time for AGO. We've already seen what happens when AGO are able to get... Well, when Double Pony, got towards the pistols. This time, that is 1 beefy boy of an HE grenade. Reets rather than Snatchy. All just going to be taken down. Easy cleanup. Body with 4 of those. That HE grenade was monumental. Atom bomb, almost. Gross. And those odds have opened back up again as a result of it. Jesus. 1.44 to 2.72 now. It's just yo-yoing. It's on a string, but still Double Pony, the favoured of the 2.
Guns out now for the AGO side. This is where you want to try and nip this in the bud. You don't want to be allowing Double Pony to get too much confidence back on this T side. That's now a few in a row for them, and you really need to get these guns working on AGO. You've not got much cash at all in reserve as well. Even with Pete want to FAMAS this round, but for Furlan, that is a huge start towards this A defense. 2 for him. Meanwhile, his teammates not able to hold back a bit of an advance towards B. As Roland got caught over on that side of the map, but it's still a man advantage for the AGO side. And Lucky's left with 5 HP as well. He might get caught by Fiku. Surely does, yeah. Easy as you like for him, just a single bullet. All that was required. And Afro exchanged a bit of damage there with Snatchy, who was up on top of that boost. Now has to drop away. Will probably allow Furlan to take the contact here. Back of his. And there you go. Nice little setup there. Trying to bait those players into the fight with Snatchy, and then Furlan just makes his peek from elsewhere. Catches them not looking his way, and that is the AGO round coming through. Denies Double Pony from tying up the game.
Right on key, right on beautiful. AGO needed that, and they're lucky they get it. Good catches from both Snatchy and Furlan as well. Exploiting where they anticipate a boost to be coming in from. Polish side now probably just need to weather one more storm here in order to try and break the back of the Double Pony economy. And as a result, put themselves in a potentially game-winning position. Afro, not totally sure that there's going to be a player on the other side of this, but there is. It is Furlan. And whilst he's playing with a smoke, you could say he's playing with fire. It is dangerous, and I think he recognises that. He backs away, chucks an HE grenade in for good measure, which does do a little bit of damage to both Afro, Jocko, and Body. But they're okay for the time being. They're all going to start to emerge ever so slightly now. There's this passive angle from Furlan is about to be matched by that of Snatchy, playing from the same position. It's going to work out for a collateral! Oh, can you believe it? AGO gifted that one stroke of luck. It lays the bomb out wide in the open. They're going to try and boost over for it. It is successful, but they still have 3 more players to find, and those 3 players are all standing guard. Thankfully, Lucky's able to garner one, but they have to cross. They have to cross into Fiku. They have to cross into Rallen, who's now pinching them in. Jocko's fighting a war on 2 fronts and needs to try and isolate this down into 1 versus 1s, and he can't do it. AGO stabilised their situation in a frantic and frenetic round, but it's still a victory for them. They'll still be happy about it at 13-10.
Yeah, just inching closer, George. That's all that they want to do now, AGO. They just want to make sure they can keep Double Pony from amassing a string of rounds together and closing things up once again, because he got a little bit tight there off the back of that Glock round. I mean, it allowed Double Pony a route back into this one. Luckily for AGO, they've been able to sort of steady their hands once these guns have come back out for them, but could still be danger in this one. We've seen it before. Surely AGO have learned their lesson, though, and they're not going to allow that to happen again. See the long-range angles they're playing as well. They just don't want to give any chances to these pistols. Fiku maybe fighting a little bit there, but he's okay. Looks like they are going to lock down this round. Can they deny the plant? Not quite. That's something from the round, along with a single kill that was possessed by the Double Pony side. But yeah, that's not too bad for either side of things. AJ will be happy they keep 4 players alive. Double Pony will be happy with the bomb plant and a kill. Everybody goes away happy. Or at least satisfied.
Are you satisfied, Dan?
When I'm with you, George, always.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Double Pony and AGO, those odds just keep fluctuating, but this is about as close as they've been. Still Double Pony the favoured of the 2 teams on the odds. AGO picking up a double AWP setup here. I haven't really seen too much to suggest that Ancient could be a great map for a double AWP setup, but we'll see how it really rolls on out. I mean, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Here's Fiku, playing up close and personal, ready to try and take an engagement with Lucky, who on the other side of that smoke will have heard those shots ring on out. Fiku now swinging in and around the pillar. They've lost track of him inside the site, but they're still able to find him as the first point of contact. A second frag from Reitz, but it is traded away by Jocko. So still all going well with Furlan finally making a trade. 3-on-3, boosting over the top for Rallen, just trying to get an angle over the top of this smoke, but thankfully for him, Exercise has just managed to slide his way away, and Afro finishes the job with that frag onto Rallen. That should bring it into a 3-on-2, just one more to really secure this, and the other player might still have to think about saving, and I think they both will, in fact, as they realise time is of the essence, and they don't have much of it. It's gone, they're out of here. 14-10 becomes 14-11.
Yeah, Double Pony still in it. They're putting up a very good show on Ancient here. They're not allowing things to get too out of hand. They're at least keeping AGO within arm's reach. That's all you can really do right now as you try and close up. I mean, ideally, you want to get a few more here before AGO get to 15, if they are going to get to 15. But a technical pause coming through. Hopefully, it won't be a long one. Hopefully, we can get back into things pretty quickly. Yeah.
Nobody likes tech pause.
No.
Always feels bad.
Yeah. You know what you could do though?
What?
While there's a tech pause when you're watching a game, you could,
Are we ready?
could have
Seamless
check out
segue.
Trustly.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the main sponsors of this this Pinnacle II tournament. You can see a lot of their logos around the map.
Yeah, it's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the way this
Yeah.
has been done. Big effort going into the production here.
Yeah, for sure. But in case you didn't know, Trustly allows you to make safe and quick payments for a variety of providers, and one of those is Pinnacle. But look at the very quick execution in towards mid there from Double Pony. Just instantly taken down both Rowland and Snatchy. That is a huge amount of ground gain. Luckily, Furlan at least contains the threat a little bit by denying them access towards the donut. But elsewhere, Double Pony have been able to get a lot of space. You can see how deep they've gotten. Already exercised in towards Sniper's Nest. Player working through a main as well. Lucky, or rather Furlan, really needed that kill onto Jocko. Can only find the dink. That nade just a little bit short. Let's see, that's Double Pony written all over it now. Just VQ alone. An AWP in hand. Just misses the timing on the player crossing over towards CT spawn. And I'm sure he just goes for the save here.
Probably would be the best case scenario for VQ, but I don't think he's going to be allowed it. Body catches him on the retreat. And that's a very nice round for Double Pony, a much needed round for Double Pony. Moreover, I think with the lack of AWP being saved, it's going to result in AGO having to take some form of an eco. Seems as if they're going to take a bit of a timeout to discuss that, as it's not going to be the easiest of purchases. They are in a bit of a limbo position where maybe if they buy this round, then they put themselves in a worse position towards the end of the game if it does go that close. Maybe if they save this round, then they have to concede a little bit more ground to the Double Pony side, but hopefully have something better on. So there is still time. But Double Pony, still with a chance, still taking their time to just breathe, think about it, get it together. And so far, so good. Things have been looking a little bit messy for them in places over the course of Ancient, but they've still kept themselves in it, Dan. They've still had a few good rounds where they've managed to come into sites, do nice things, and it's gone well for them. So with Double Pony, what is there to be doing? Well, this round should be a given, as like I was saying, there was a discussion to be had for AGO about what they were going to go into this round with. Would it be the pistols? Would it be a force bite? What was it going to end up being? And they went for the full eco, not even anything in between. Obviously, some players did have a little bit more money than others. They could have afforded to do something more with it. For example, Reeks could have gone for a Deagle armor and still been on the same footing as his teammates, but they were banking on having an AWP of sorts, I'd imagine. Speaking of that AWP, Afro's making it work, and they're doing God's work over towards the B site on the right-hand side of the map. It is now going to be Furlan, last man standing, and he's only got a USP. So what can you hope for? Not much. A 13th for Double Pony seems an inevitability.
I mean, maybe he gets a kill here. If I'm being optimistic, George. Maybe there's a kill to be had, but unlikely. They're really being careful with this one, aren't they? Probably don't want to give anything up, and I mean there was a chance there, puts exercise low, but the AK is just too overpowering.
Look at those odds again, Dan. They're opening up again, aren't they? as we get to 13-14. Smoke's flying high, and into the B doors they go. For the AGO side, what is left on the table? The first 2 frags have not gone your way whatsoever. That is not good. Fiku being able to trade it back is, I suppose, okay for now, but it's still an advantageous position for the Double Pony side as they now take the A site. It was all a bit of a distraction, all a bit of a ruse, carefully constructed by the French. That bomb plant is going to be in a pretty odd position. Oh, Jocko! No way have you found 2 through that spray. The smoke is his ally. You think you were born in the smoke? You think it was your ally? No, 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 no. Jocko is the master of it. He's Bane and Batman. And it is going to be a 14-14 game. Just that crazy sequence of events protects the bomb planter. Gets 2 frags out of it that he can't even see. That is a huge round for Double Pony. Snatchy might still be afforded the luxury of holding on to this AWP, and by God does he need to, Dan, because AGO's money is in the bin. He won't even get a chance to hold on to it either. Double Pony fine 14. AGO don't have a buy, and that means that match point, should be on the cards for Double Pony. But we know how the Force buys have been this game. AGO are going to take a timeout to discuss what they want to do. And so far, it looks like they're already buying in for a half buy. That's what you'd expect here. Their loss bonus is stacking. Half buy it with the Deagles and the armor, and then go from there. But this was just a crazy sequence of events from Jocko. How he finds 2 frags out of that, protects the bomb planter. It's crazy. 14-14. What a game we've got on our hands.
Massive effort from Jocko there. You can't fault him at all for what he was able to do. I mean, you could say maybe it's a little bit lucky just holding down the spray through the smoke, but he knows his angles, knows his spray, and he gets those kills, and that's what matters right now. It doesn't matter if the kills are maybe a little bit sketchy or a little bit lucky. This is a business end, and we could be seeing Double Pony taking away AGO's map pick and closing out the series 2-0. And this is a map that AGO have been so strong on. This is a huge statement from Double Pony. Just even forcing it this close. Yeah, there's been these rounds with the Glocks and stuff where there's been a couple blunders from AGO that you maybe think the game could have already been closed down. And Snatchy wants to try some of his own. Gets a kill, the 5-7, a dink onto Lucky as well. Leaves him on 2 HP, but just not enough. And oh, look what's happening, George. There we go. Jocko spotted him. And Furlan, your days are numbered, my friend. The gates of hell await. And Jocko just biding his time. Wants to see how much more he can potentially get. Doesn't want to give away that Double Pony have this much space as well. He'll wait for his teammates to rotate over before he gets this kill. And he just knows that this is going to open up the 15th for his team. There you go. Execution.
Just trying to buy space, I think, there for his teammates. Just, if he'd have got that frag early.
All over it for the Double Pony side.
I think you're right. I think it really does. Afro just finishing the job. Reitz has got away with the AK from Body's corpse. But I've got to say, Dan, this is the strangest game of Ancient I've seen so far. And we've casted a fair few Ancients together already. Yeah. I mean, this in itself has been... It looked like it should be AGOs to go with. I mean, we said from the veto, right, at the very start of the show, the top of the day, we said AGO, with the way that they vetoed this, I think personally, I mean, you, obviously I can't speak for you on this, but I thought that AGO had vetoed this one to perfection. But Double Pony have just pulled a masterstroke. They have found map point now. They have found match point now. They could look to 2-0 this best of 3, which I don't think anybody going into this was expecting. A team the caliber of AGO, these guys are some of the most veteran players in the Polish scene. They have been almost at the top of it since Virtus Pro dissolved, or at least the old traditional Virtus Pro roster. This has been the jewel of Poland for all so long. And right now, it is just not working out for them against the Double Pony side. This misfit, this ragtag bunch of French rejects and new players. It's an interesting one. We'll see what Snatchy's able to muster. But this has been an epic game so far. The double AWP setup back in play for AGO. Single AWP for Double Pony, as you'd expect on the T side. First engagement going down towards middle, and it's Lucky to take down Rallen.
huge opening kill, and that could be enough, but
Oh.
Snatchy doesn't want to let this one go, wants to try and push us all the way into OT. That's the only outcome that AGO are looking for right now, OT or zilch. Obviously, Double Pony, already a map in the lead. They took down Vertigo, and now they're sniffing blood, smelling blood in the waters there on Ancient. As 4-on-4, things just slowed down. No player wants to be the one that gives up the advantage in a round like this. You want everything to be perfect. Fiku had a little bit of a jiggle there in towards the dig site, but can't spot anyone out, and that could just be the timing that gives Double Pony an opening in towards this B site, but they drop a smoke, AGO. That is perfectly timed as well. That denies Double Pony any more control, but already with positions here, they can boost over and they can try and look for a fight in towards the B site. Nobody going to give themselves up right now, and instead, Double Pony, they'll set up their utility to try and force an opening. Fiku is just so blinded, no chance he fights back. Maybe could have sprayed, but reads through the smoke. He's good for one. Jocko replies instantly, and it's a 2v3. Snatchy and Furlan need to fight back. But look at Exercise. He's got the kill, he's got the flank, and now Furlan, this is going to have to be a clutch against Free. You say it's done, George. Furlan says maybe not yet. First kill onto Jocko, looking for the second. But Afro is a step too far, and it is going to be Ancient going the way of the Double Pony side. They close down this series in 2, George.
They do, indeed. And I've got to say, I really wasn't expecting this outcome. I mean, I said before all of this that this was likely going to be an AGO victory. I didn't specify how drastically it was going to be an AGO victory. But in the end, they came out with it, and they got the dub. I don't know what to say. It was Double Pony just kind of keeping into it. I mean, there were so many points in that game, in both Vertigo and in Ancient, where AGO had an opportunity to just run away with the game a little bit, just press the attack, run the advantage. They had so many rounds in a row, but Double Pony kept themselves in it, just fighting, keeping these rounds close, making sure that the economy could be broken down at a moment's notice. And that's exactly what happened at the end of Vertigo. They were able to pounce right there and then. And I've got to say, it's Jocko. It's Jocko, man. He was the man who brought it home. A bit like how football's coming home. It's not for France, just to clarify, but football is coming home for England, and that map was coming home for Jocko. He did everything in his power with that crazy 2K through smoke.
Yeah, for sure. It was a huge play, and it's helped, obviously, Double Pony get this win. They now sit 1-on-1 in the Swiss stage for Pinnacle Cup II. Unfortunately for AGO, a team you probably wouldn't expect to be in this position. They are they're now 0-2.
Yeah.
There's no other way about it. They're down there with the Copenhagen Flames, and they are in a very precarious position. But maybe there's a way back for them. I mean, it's not over, as they say, until the fat lady sings, and I ain't heard any fat ladies around here, so...
No, neither have I. No. She seems to be on her jollies, not about today, doing something else anyway. But I think there are still more matches to come today. If I'm not mistaken. Why don't you give us a taste of what those are? We are. Lovely. Let's get into it. Well, I think we've got a break before now and then.
Yeah.
But hopefully more good matches on the way. And congratulations to Double Pony on an absolute irrefutable banger.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we'll be heading to a bit of a short break, but afterwards we will be having Young Ninjas versus Team 1. And when I say a short break, it's probably, I think, about an hour or so now, 50 minutes, until that one goes live. So if you're interested in that, stick around and get yourselves comfortable for what could be another interesting game.